Welcome to Poland Daily History with me, Nicholas Richardson. And in this series of episodes, we're continuing our examination of some of the major political figures from the 20th century. And I'm delighted to have with me in this studio my colleague Adam Starzyński, our expert in all things Polish and historical. Adam, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you.
Good to have you back. And can we talk now about Władysław Studnicki? Because he, I think, has had some particularly interesting political ideas, which we'll get to during the course of the Second World War.
You could say that his political thought has received more and more attention in recent years. There are some Polish historians who believe that his assessment on the eve of the outbreak of the Second World War, that Poland should have joined forces with Nazi Germany instead of allying with Great Britain, would have been more beneficial for Poland in the long run than what actually happened. Of course, this is a very controversial opinion, which many Poles, when they hear about it, they instinctively react against it. And I can't hide my own bias. I am also very critical of that standpoint, and I'll explain why slightly later. But if we look at the man's biography, he was born in 1867. In the city which today is known as Daugavpils in Latvia. Back then it was part of the Vitebsk region of the Russian Empire. Earlier on, of course, before the Polish partitions, it had been a part of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and had a sizable Polish minority. He was born into a noble family of the so-called Polish Szlachta class, the noble 10% or so of Polish population, which was really the backbone of the country's military, political elite. And he was from a very early age pro-German in his stance. Initially, he was a socialist. Before the war, however, he joined the First World War. He joined the nationalist camp of Roman Dmowski. But after a while left them as they were very pro-Russian and he was very pro-German. So this was the first time in his life where his pro-German views already caused some kind of rift between himself and a large portion of Polish society, you could say. During the First World War, he was already somewhat of a political agitator. He was a writer. His brother became also a quite famous historian, so they were from an academic family. They were respected, and he had in the years leading up to the war, he had been calling for closer Polish-German relations. During the war itself, he even met with the German governor of the territory that they controlled here in Poland, a man named Besseler, and he tried to argue that they should incorporate Poland in some form and allow it to form a state that would reach far into what is today Ukraine and Belarus, while on the other hand, he didn't put forward any demands that the Poles that lived in Western Poland, places such as Poznań, for example, or Silesia, that they would be incorporated into this Polish state. He thought that it was a price that he was prepared to pay, that those Poles would remain living in a German state. Nothing such naturally happened, but after the war, he maintained his posture of pro-Germanness. He wrote a number of books in the 1920s and 30s, so he was quite a prolific writer. One of them delved into the political systems of Europe. There he put forward a proposition that to counter the Soviet Union, Poland should be, together with Germany, a founding member of this bloc of Central European nations, including Poland, Germany, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, even Greece and Yugoslavia. And he wrote that this bloc of 200 million people or so would be more than enough to be able to fight off the Soviet Union and to create some kind of superpower on in continental Europe.
I'm just going to have to interrupt you there. The clock is against us. I've had to stop Adam almost in mid-sentence. But we will be back to continue the story on the next episode of Poland Daily History, and we look forward to seeing you again then. Thank you for watching.